The landscape of real gaming journalism is changing, and the old guard is panicking all the time. We've seen Alyssa Mercante throwing fits about, how we need gaming journalists, how we need people like her and Kotaku and IGN and the Paul Tassi guy from what's it called, Forbes, to just shill for these companies. But we're not shilling for companies. We look at things here, and and we objectively go, okay, these companies are out there trying to milk gamers and hating gamers at the same time. And then they're trying to change these properties to be something that you don't even recognize them anymore. And we're actually doing the real reporting that they should be doing when these companies, these giant corporations, are acting bad. Instead, Kotaku, IGN, all these people attack the customers and actually attack us for doing the reporting job that they should be doing. It's very, very bizarre. Now, this guy, Danny O'Dwyer, is a gaming journalist also, and he's going after Endymion really hard. Honestly, it just gives Endymion more street cred, because if this guy and Alyssa Mercante are teaming up to try to take him down, it's not gonna go well for him. This guy's got 10,000 members of his video game documentaries and preservations, but he feels the need to just attack Endymion for talking to somebody at Ubisoft. Now, of course, these people go, oh, you're not doing things right. You're not sourcing things properly. Because here's the deal. We don't get access to these companies officially like you do, Danny and Alyssa. Of course not, because we criticize them and we are honest. It's called ethics in gaming journalism, something you don't have. Since you don't criticize them, you just shill for them full time. They give you that access, so you have that, quote, sourcing. Now, we have people who talk to us from these companies, something different. And I've actually verified a lot of what Endymion says by talking to actual Ubisoft employees. They have to remain anonymous because they'll lose their jobs if they talk to us, because of people like you, Danny and Alyssa, because you're sick people who just want us shut out and want our businesses destroyed here on YouTube because we're doing a better job than you. Is what it comes down to. Oh my gosh, this gets me heated because the state of official gaming journalism is so bad. And we are the new guard. We are doing things right, and Endymion's crushing it and doing a wonderful job. I'm so glad that the real truth is getting out there about what's happening at Ubisoft and other companies. Let's get into the news. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Join us here, guys. Really appreciate you for being there as we report all things that are going on in gaming and in entertainment and culture. I am also a #1 best-selling graphic novel creator, and this is my Emerald Array. If you like Space Marines, military science fiction, and I know Endymion does. I think he actually backed my last project. This is a great book for you. Check it out. I've listened to what you guys wanted. This is what you should do as a developer. If you're a video game developer, book writer, you listen to what people wanted. I saw what was happening in culture with Star Wars, Warhammer 40K, and the like earlier this year. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make something for the audience that these people are shunning. And so I did. And so you're going to love this. It is everything you've asked for in a action-packed science fiction book. And it's on a free speech platform called Fund My Comic, because I got banned by Kickstarter because of this YouTube. So check it out. It's in the description below. Really appreciate you guys there. I'd love to get this over that 10K hump. And I appreciate you so much for supporting our books over here. Thank you again. All right. So this is pretty wild. So he goes out and attacks Endymion, saying the worst trend with these ambulance-chasing freaks, which is those are lawyers. We're obviously not doing legal things. That's actually your buddy Alyssa over there who's threatening to sue people with an ambulance-chasing lawyer. That's another story. As them cosplaying as journalists. Getting two people to talk off the record is about as difficult as wiping your arse. I don't know. Maybe this guy has trouble with that too. Well, it is actually very difficult to get people talking off the record. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've talked to people in different industries, and it's very, very hard to get them to tell me what's going on because they're very afraid that I will screenshot the DMs or whatever and get them fired. And so, yeah, it is difficult because they know, again, if they talk to us, they will lose their jobs. They'll lose their livelihoods. They'll get life ruined. They'll be blackballed from the industry. This is in video games. It's in books. It's in comics. I mean, it's every industry in entertainment has this like small little culture of fear that's out there where there are gatekeepers who will destroy them. And so, yes, it's a big deal that some of these people will actually talk to us and whistleblow for what's going on at these companies. And Endymion has been doing a great job exposing that. He says, I talked to an Ubisoft insider about the current state of the industry, as well as another source which tells me places like CD Projekt Red and even Funcom, which is making Dune Awakening, are in dire trouble. And yes, we are officially in a game crash. Now, this is all true. This has all been verified. As he breaks this news, again, I break a lot of this news in comics and science fiction publishing and the like ahead of time too, where it's not talked about a lot in these media circles, and then people talk to me, so I go expose it. And you always get a bunch of pushback from the people in the industry. They go crazy. They call you names. They sick their followings on you like this guy's doing to Endymion. And then it turns out to be true. And then they get mad about it because they weren't able to scoop anything because it's the case. Now, there is a game crash coming. These AAA games are bloated. We just had the developers of Space Marine 2 talk about how bloated they are and how crazy it is out there and how people need to not be blowing these budgets like this. We know that there is a woke apocalypse happening because every woke game that spends millions and hundreds of millions of dollars is just not selling to gamers. It's all true. And they just don't want it to be true because it's their clout structure. Danny's access to these media companies and Alyssa's access to these media companies is everything to them. And if that doesn't mean anything to their journalism outlets, because they don't just get these press releases that they can just regurgitate and not actually work to do any journalism, then their outlets fail. And people turn to us because we tell them the news that's not in the press releases that they can just get themselves from anywhere. And so here's what Endymion says. He says, I've proven time and time again in that tweet with responses that he's lying and goes around what I'm saying. Also, Danny, don't get on a high horse when you've already been exposed for hating black people and Muslims on Twitter. You're in no position to ever lecture anyone what it means to be a decent human being when you're a closeted racist retard. Shots fired. Be ashamed if people saw just how hateful you really are. Have a great day, Danny. And wow, this is weird. Geez. Why would you post that? Very weird. Ha ha. Honestly, it's perfect that someone so incapable of sourcing reliable material for the reporting would post those images. And he says, of course, you go right around the fact that you're a xenophobic, racist weirdo and try to get an own in. You're a corporate parasite who has paid money to make a documentary about CDPR. You would never actually speak your mind because your income is based on how much D you can fit into your mouth at once from any given studio. Keep being a racist, Danny. Glad more people know how much of an awful human being you are. And here he is. We pay for every cost of a no-clip production. Look, he just rants about his whole thing. Look, man, throw whatever S you want, but the unfortunate reality is I've got a lot more knowledgeable, experience, and editorially independent than you are. Now, that's pretty ridiculous. Now, Endymion's been doing this for a long time, and he's extremely knowledgeable about video games. So that's a ridiculous lie right there. And you want to talk about editorially independent? Endymion's just doing this himself. He is editorially independent by nature. I mean, it's ridiculous how these people talk about this stuff. He says, you're full of S. I want to make a convincing argument. Start by getting people on the record. Well, why? You don't have to get people on the record. That's the thing. If people are willing to talk to you anonymously and give you these tips, that's a big deal. Like I said, they're risking their jobs to do this because even them doing that, if we just, didn't protect our sources, which, by the way, historically, journalists do protect their sources. That is a thing. It doesn't have to be on. They'll come on the record later once all this gets exposed and once it gets known and once the companies have to deal with the PR problem, they'll come on the record and they'll verify exactly what we've been saying all along. But it'll be months later. And then you'll make up some excuse for why it's not actually a problem. And you'll make a headline, a fake news headline, Danny, like ... and that's a good thing, right? And that's what you'll do because you'll shill for these companies till the last bated breath. And the reason is because they pay you. And that's what we know, that you're paid for it. We know that it's an access thing. It's a clout thing. It's ridiculous. And this attack on Endymion just shows how scared these people are because we're doing the jobs that they refuse to do. You hate to see it. So, yes, this is a big W for gamers. The journos are flipping out left and right. And, we're just going to keep telling the truth and keep telling what it is. And that's how we'll win. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Do check out my Emerald Array graphic novel. Again, if you love, just fun science fiction, action-packed, strong male lead sci-fi, you're going to dig this, guys. Grab this, and I appreciate you for being there.